Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So I noticed this on Twitter from XRP Soldier, the most common question around Ripple these days: why didn't XRP moon after the case ended? And I think you guys are probably wondering the same. Why is XRP, still kind of sitting in and around $2.30, at least as of the time of this recording? We've just been trading within this boring region here, kind of bouncing off, just under $2, going up to about $3. So, this is very, very boring. In the $2 range, we want to see higher prices, and we're wondering why, now that we've got the clarity, because we've been thinking this the whole time. We've got the clarity. The end of the lawsuit is, it's officially been announced. Why hasn't the price gone up? Well, XRP Soldier brings up some interesting information. Let's not forget the obvious thing. First off, these moves won't be made by degens going all in on meme coins. Guys, this is not going to be retail bringing the price up, but by traditional financial entities with all their bureaucracy. You can't apply the same standards of immediacy. So that's the first thing. People are confused. The end of the Ripple SEC case means regulatory clarity for the XRP token, but there's still a lot of work to be done before there's full legal clarity and a full legal framework around all activities Ripple intends to carry out, not to mention the fact that, the entire crypto landscape is not regulated yet. So I think investors are still being very cautious before they deploy their capital. He goes on to say, institutions can't participate without knowing the rules of the game. Two major bills are gaining momentum in Congress. The stablecoin bill, so we got to pay attention to that. That sets clear rules for issuing and managing USD-backed stablecoins. It creates legal clarity for projects using the RLUSD, USDC, and others, and expected to pass within the next 4 to 8 weeks, as we did here. It was Brad Garlinghouse. Yeah, as we did hear Brad Garlinghouse say the other day. If you guys didn't catch the video I did on that, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. And then there's the market structure bill, establishes what counts as a commodity and what counts as a security, defines the jurisdiction of the SEC versus the CFTC, and ends the regulatory gray zone that has slowed down innovation. So these are the things that we do still have to keep an eye on. So the U.S. market just opened up. According to Brad Garlinghouse, they closed more than 6 deals, they closed more deals in 6 weeks following the election than in the 6 months prior to that. So the floodgates are open. Number 5, 95% of Ripple's growth comes from outside the United States. So that has been a trend up till this point. But guys, that's going to turn around. Ripple needs to regain ground in the US after years of stagnation. This means catching up with the infrastructure Ripple has been able to develop over the past decade or more than a decade, now for the largest economy in the world. US regulation is about to legitimize the entire space. There's no doubt the Trump administration has taken a pro-crypto stance and is firmly committed to pushing this industry forward. So, of course, we've got all kinds of executive orders. So executive order to create a strategic reserve for digital assets, the acceleration towards finalizing the stablecoin legislation, and also possibility of zero tax for American companies, and also the point of possibly allowing zero capital gains tax if Americans do invest in American cryptocurrency projects. The crypto ecosystem could only dream of this a year ago. Now the direction is clear. So he says, in conclusion, the Internet of Value is no longer just a promise, it's under construction. But it's definitely not a one-day job. Guys, this is going to take time. Everything happens behind the scenes until it's ready, and then boom goes the dynamite. In hindsight, it all seems very obvious, but by then the opportunity is already gone. And so, I hope you guys have your bags packed. For more information on what I'm doing this bull run, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, where I'm, taking my time with this bull run. And then, as soon as we need to make some decisions where to sell, just like that, I'm going to be letting my Patreon subscribers know exactly where I'm selling at. And no, it's not going to be an after the fact thing. I'm going to be letting my Patreon subscribers know where my targets are going to be before I sell out of some of my positions. And yes, I'm going to be selling some of my XRP. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies that I hold. My legacy portfolio includes Solana, Bitcoin, VeChain, just to name a few. But if you want to get the details, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for that. Anyway, wanted to thank XRP Soldier for posting that. Now, DJ Peter Vass also bringing some interesting news to us today. This has to do with Korea. The Korean counselor confirms that they're holding $1 million in XRP as government officials report $9 million plus worth of crypto holdings in general. But 1 million in XRP specifically. This is according to a report from leading South Korean daily newspaper, the Munhwa Ilbo, citing data provided by the country's Ethics Commission for government officials. Notably, the data came from the commission's latest disclosure of the changes in the asset holdings of public officials for 2025. Interestingly, though, the disclosure revealed that of the 2,047 government officials who reported their investment portfolios, up to 411, representing about 20%, just over 20%, confirmed that they hold crypto assets. Notably, these officials collectively hold assets totaling about 14.4 billion Korean won, and that is approximately worth about $9.8 million against prevailing rates. The Counselor of Seoul is one of them, okay? Kim Hae-young, the capital city of South Korea. According to his disclosure, Kim holds up to 16 crypto assets worth a whopping $1.765 billion or $1.2 million US, placing him as the single largest holder of crypto assets among government officials. So these guys really do believe in cryptocurrency. But not only that, guys, XRP specifically, Kim also revealed his assets, or the assets held by his wife and his eldest son. Interestingly, the city councilor's wife seems to be more drawn to XRP, which makes up the majority of her portfolio. She holds 519,004 XRP, so just over 500,000 XRP, worth about 1.2 million US dollars. So guys, this is where government officials in Korea stand. They're holding XRP and just digital assets in general, which I think is a good sign. They own some Dogecoin as well, as it looks like here. Also some Bitcoin. So the growing interest in XRP among Korean investors, though, we've seen Korea really kind of ramp up in terms of their XRP holdings over the years. As it does say here, these disclosures are not a surprise to us, as XRP has historically been a favorite among South Korean investors. The asset persistently beats Bitcoin and Ethereum in trading volume on Korean exchanges. That is always good to know. Year over year, says X-Force Global. Here is data from South Korea's largest exchange, Upbit. It shows that Ripple's XRP and Stellar's XLM were the top performing assets, and investors show no signs of selling. And so I got the tweet up here, and you guys can see, this is in Korean, you can't read it, but you guys can see the logos there. XRP was number one in terms of volume. When we look at the volume, only followed by Stellar's XLM. So I thought that was an interesting metric to share. South Korean officials holding XRP and other cryptocurrencies in large quantities, no less. So I wanted to thank DJ Peter Vass for posting that. Interactive Brokers is a brokerage firm that has historically dealt in stocks and security trading. But guys, they're actually expanding their crypto offerings. This one courtesy of Michael Branch, and yeah, they're adding XRP and ADA. According to a recent announcement, Interactive Brokers, a well-known brokerage firm with almost 3 million clients worldwide, added 4 cryptocurrencies to its trading platform. The assets in question include XRP, ADA, Solana, and Dogecoin. Adding these new tokens give our clients even more flexibility to diversify their portfolios and take advantage of opportunities across digital assets. This is coming from Steve Sanders, EVP of Marketing and Production at Interactive Brokers. He claimed that the efforts align with the company's ongoing commitment to offer clients a comprehensive and effective trading experience. The newly introduced cryptocurrencies are not the only ones available on the platform. Over the past few years, Interactive Brokers has enabled trading services with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash as well. So this, guys, to me also is helping to promote the legitimacy of, certain cryptocurrencies in the space. Even if you just look at the top by market cap, we've got the top there: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Did they mention Solana? I don't know about that. BNB Coin's not there. Dogecoin is in the top 10 here. ADA is also on the Interactive Brokers list. But, over the years, if they've included these ones, these are old school top 10 cryptocurrencies. Well, Litecoin is no longer in the top 10. But, we are seeing, a major shift in the traditional markets, the traditional infrastructure, now adopting, the narrative that cryptocurrencies are worth trading. In this case, Interactive Brokers is now allowing their clients to trade these types of cryptos. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this. I think, in the past it was, what crypto exchange is going to be legitimate within what country? But now it's looking more and more like the old traditional, stock trading platforms, and even doing it through your bank. I know Interactive Brokers is a big one worldwide. But trading cryptos through your bank, that's going to be a big thing through these traditional stock trading platforms. That's also going to be big, and it's just becoming more and more legitimate as the months go on. So some great news here, adding some big names to this big trading platform. Wanted to thank Michael for posting that. And if you guys wanted a bit of an update on the Linqto story, John Deaton apparently put together a Zoom call, but it was interjected with, unfortunately, some XXX material that somebody hijacked the call. Some morons love ruining things for everyone. So John Deaton is saying that he is going to actually set up a new call. I think I informed people that prior to placing substantial funds on the platform, I had used Linqto myself, to purchase pre-IPO shares of SoFi. So he is giving his story here. Once SoFi went public, Linqto transferred my shares into my Charles Schwab account. Everything worked perfectly. After that successful experience, I purchased more shares of other companies and have placed substantial funds on the platform. And so John is saying, I'm receiving emails from folks who feel embarrassed and fearful that they were sucked into a scam. There is no reason to beat yourself up over it. I did as well. This is not FTX. A new executive team was brought in to take over the Linqto management. There are currently some regulatory compliance issues, so that could be part of the reason why they're not responding. I don't know. The new CEO of Linqto reached out and spoke with me today. So John Deaton does have an update for you guys. What I communicated in a short video tonight was that I believe everyone's funds, including mine, are safe and in an appropriate account. Private equity shares of the company, and you and I acquired Ripple, Circle, Kraken, etc., are where they're supposed to be. So John Deaton, hopefully, giving the XRP community members who did invest with Linqto some peace of mind, hopefully. After speaking with the CEO, it seems as though bankruptcy is not imminent or expected, although one can never rule it out. But even if Linqto filed for bankruptcy, our shares of the company should be safe and protected. In fact, if there was a bankruptcy filing, and one of the companies on the platform, Circle, Kraken, or Ripple, were to go to market, yours and my shares would still go into our brokerage accounts as planned. So, this is the latest. For those of you guys invested in Linqto, John Deaton seems to think your investments are okay. He also goes on to say the CEO seemed to acknowledge that the situation and vague communications have caused many customers to become unnerved, anxious, and angry. I would not doubt that for a second. He communicated that he hopes to provide more information and clarity soon. So I'm surprised they still haven't come out and said something. John Deaton is organizing this, so I do suggest you follow John Deaton if you are a Linqto investor and if you want more information. Anyway, thank you, John Deaton, for keeping us updated on that. We've also got Tyler Winklevoss here, guys, calling on the Ripple XRP army. Earn XRP back with the Gemini credit card every time you swipe. And this is not a new product. This was released about a couple of years ago, but he's still promoting it. Your Gemini card purchase 4% back in XRP. So if you guys are interested in that, does it pay back in BTC as well, or only the crap coin XRP, asks Castor Davidson. Tyler Winklevoss fielding some questions here. It pays back in whatever crypto you select. It can be BTC, Ethereum, XRP, whatever. Thomas down here saying, Tyler, do you use the Gemini card? If so, how is your experience so far? Tyler saying, I do. I've been using it for years. I'm up huge on crypto rewards and I've earned back. And Steven here saying, you're better off with 2% straight cash back. The card, which can then be used to buy crypto, probably at lower APRs as well. And Tyler saying, wrong. Cash is trash, and your 2% will be eaten up by trading fees. So I don't know, maybe some good arguments for getting the Gemini MasterCard, a credit card that allows you 4% back in XRP on your purchases. If you feel like maybe you don't have enough yet, it could be time to be making a lot of purchases. Stack up that XRP, guys, because we've got some good news here from Charles Hoskinson. I think I want to call it good news. Overall, I think, I've got a couple of clips here from Charles, his analogy or explanation, I think, of what I'm going to show you next. First, though, I wanted to set it up with this clip. Cardano ADA founder Charles Hoskinson says, I met with one of the CFTC commissioners, many members of Congress, and spoke with Congressman Warren Davidson. There's a good chance we will pass a stablecoin bill within 3 months and get a market structure bill done by August.
We're in policy mode. We're talking to people, taking meetings, getting stuff done. Met with one of the CFTC commissioners, met with a lot of members of Congress, talked to Warren Davidson for quite a bit. And everybody's real excited. They want to work together. They're very collaborative, the environment. And there's a strong appetite. I think there's a good chance we could pass a stablecoin bill within the next 3 months. And I think there's a chance we get a market structure bill done by August. And market structure translates to is it a security, is it a commodity, or something else? And that means we could potentially permanently kill the ghost of Gary Gensler if we get these things done.
Permanently kill the ghost of Gary Gensler, which means progress in the crypto space. I think everybody is hoping for that very soon. So a stablecoin bill within 3 months, market infrastructure bill, guys, by August. So I think, this market is setting itself up so that we see this blow off top by the end of the year. For more information on what I'm going to be doing, again, follow me, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. So you got to think to yourself, okay, 2025, the year of adoption. This was an Italian document produced a few years ago, but, the plan was always 2025, at least for the rest of the world. By 2025, there will be 5 mainstream blockchain DLT platforms. While Ripple is illustrated as the largest by size in the diagram, every company falling under the Ripple umbrella include major banks, R3, Ethereum, Hyperledger, Amazon, etc. So, back even a few years ago, these guys were suggesting that Ripple was going to be at the top, maybe along with Swift's GPI. But guys, look at all these platforms underneath: Ethereum, Hyperledger. We've got some banking giants up here like UBS. R3 is another big company too. Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure. But guys, really, it's going to be about the Ripple platform, the main stack, providing that interoperability. Of the approximately 75 blockchain platform providers, not all of them will survive. By 2025, there will be about 5 blockchain and DLT platforms. So this was the prediction back from 2017. Now, I gotta say, it's interesting considering what we are seeing today. At a recent conference, experts confirmed that out of the 300,000 digital assets that were tracked, only 50 are worth investing in, with just 10 key tokens likely to serve as benchmarks for the entire crypto space. Guys, 10 key tokens are going to serve as benchmarks for the entire crypto space. This was said at a conference recently. In other words, they believe these 10 tokens could act as the core assets, delivering the essential diversity, utility, and investment opportunities needed in the cryptocurrency market. So this is what they said. They were asked, do we need them all? Why so many cryptocurrencies? Obviously, we do not need them all. I don't think we need so many cryptos and so many layer ones. They cover about 300, but only 50 guys should be deemed investable. We think that is probably 10 assets. These do not include CBDCs, so CBDCs excluded from that. Well, what other cryptocurrencies are going to be seen as valuable? Think about Trump's stockpile and think about the use cases. Another clip of Charles Hoskinson here giving an example.
If the government was building a blockchain solution, like let's say they chose Cardano as the thing to run all the elections, well, then you're stockpiling ADA because you want to maintain the fuel to pay for your election system for the next 20 years or 30 years or 50 years. That's a different consideration than a speculative interest.
Well, you're obviously going to be stockpiling the cryptocurrencies that you're going to use. So if the US government is going to be stockpiling ADA and Solana and XRP, well, shouldn't that mean that they're going to be using those cryptocurrencies? And are they part of the 50 worth investing in? I mean, I think they're definitely part of the 50, probably, part of the 10 tokens that could act as the core assets. I don't know though, guys. That's just my opinion. I think there's still a lot of opportunity here, but the trick is timing the top of the market, if there is a top, in 2025. And, that is still a big question mark. This is what we're navigating over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if you're interested, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.